The case was supposed to be simple. Just another fugitive, just another chase. But in episode 2, something unexpected happens. A small clue appears, and suddenly the entire investigation changes direction. What looked like a normal case begins to connect to something far more personal for the Marshals. And the moment they realize this, you can feel the tension rise. Because now this is not just about catching a criminal anymore. Now it feels like someone involved in the case knows them, maybe even better than they think. Before episode 2 begins, it's important to remember where the story left us. Episode 1 introduced us to the Marshals who are leading the investigation. They were given a difficult task: track down a dangerous suspect who managed to escape and disappear without leaving many clues behind. At first, the case seemed like a routine operation. The Marshals had handled situations like this many times before. They followed the usual process: gathering evidence, questioning witnesses, and checking the suspect's last known locations. But very quickly, they realized something wasn't right. The suspect didn't just vanish randomly. It felt planned. Every move looked careful, like someone had prepared an escape long before the Marshals even knew about the case. This raised an important question. Was the suspect working alone, or was someone helping them stay hidden? Episode 1 slowly built the tension as the team searched for answers. They found small clues, but none of them clearly pointed to where the suspect had gone. One moment in particular stood out. A witness mentioned seeing someone near the crime scene who didn't match the suspect's description. At the time, the Marshals didn't think much of it. They believed it might have been an unrelated person passing by. But by the end of the episode, that small detail started to feel more important. The team realized that the case might be bigger than they first believed. And just when it seemed like they were about to reach a dead end, a new piece of information arrived that forced them to reopen everything they thought they understood. That moment leads directly into episode 2, where the investigation takes a much darker and more personal turn. Episode 2 begins with a very different feeling compared to the first episode. The atmosphere is more serious, and you can sense that the Marshals are now under pressure. The team gathers again to review the case, but this time the mood is tense. Everyone knows that the suspect is still out there, and the longer they wait, the harder it will be to find them. The opening scene focuses on the Marshals studying the evidence they collected earlier. Photos, reports, and witness statements are spread across the table. At first glance, nothing seems new. It looks like the same information they already checked in episode 1. But then something small catches their attention. One of the Marshals notices a detail in the witness report that was almost ignored before. The witness had mentioned a car parked near the crime scene late at night. At the time, it didn't seem important because the car didn't match the suspect's vehicle. But now, when they look closer, the detail becomes suspicious. Why would a different car be parked near the location at the exact time the suspect disappeared? The Marshals decide to check the vehicle records connected to that description. And this is where things start to get interesting. The car is registered under a name that instantly makes the room go quiet. It's not just a random person. The name is connected to someone who has crossed paths with the Marshals before. Suddenly, the case doesn't feel like a normal investigation anymore. Now the Marshals begin to wonder if someone from their past might be involved. The possibility changes everything. If the suspect has help from someone who already knows how the Marshals work, then the escape might have been planned in advance. This realization shifts the entire direction of the investigation. Instead of chasing a single fugitive, the team now has to consider a much more complicated situation. And as episode 2 continues, the Marshals start digging deeper into this connection, not knowing that the truth they are about to uncover will make the case far more personal than they ever expected. Normal investigation anymore. Something bigger is happening behind the scenes. The team decides to go back and recheck every clue from the beginning, this time looking for anything that might connect the suspect to this new name. They start by tracking the car's recent movements. Traffic cameras, parking records, and nearby security footage all become important pieces of the puzzle. At first, the footage only shows the vehicle moving through different parts of the city. Nothing unusual. But when they follow the timeline more carefully, a pattern begins to appear. The car was not just passing by the crime scene. It had been there before, more than once. This discovery immediately raises suspicion. It means someone may have been watching the location days before the crime even happened. That suggests planning. Careful planning. One of the Marshals points out something even more troubling. The driver seems to know exactly where the cameras are placed. In several clips, the vehicle slows down or changes direction in a way that avoids clear identification. That's not something an average person would think about. It feels like the driver understands how investigations work. This makes the team wonder if the suspect is getting help from someone with inside knowledge. Someone who understands how marshals track criminals. As they continue digging, they find another strange detail. The registered owner of the car has no recent activity, no work records, no normal daily routine, and almost no digital trace in the past few weeks. It's as if the person disappeared just before the case even started. That's when the tension in the room grows even stronger. Because now the marshals are not just looking for one fugitive. They might be dealing with a hidden partner, someone who has been quietly moving pieces in the background. And if that person truly knows how the marshals operate, then every step the team takes might already be predicted, which means the investigation is about to become far more dangerous than they expected. Just when the marshals think they are starting to understand the situation, a discovery completely changes the direction of the case. While reviewing the files connected to the car owner, one of the marshals finds something buried deep in the records. At first, it looks like an old report from years ago, something that shouldn't have anything to do with the current investigation. But when they read the name again, the room goes silent. The person connected to the car is not a stranger. This is someone who has crossed paths with the marshals before, someone connected to a case from the past, a case that never fully felt closed. Suddenly, memories from that old investigation begin to surface. Back then, the marshals believed they had caught everyone involved. The case was considered finished, and the team moved on to other work. But now it seems possible that someone slipped away without being noticed. If that is true, then this new crime may not be random at all. The marshals begin to question everything they believed about the old case. Was someone secretly watching them all this time, waiting for the right moment to act? The idea makes the situation much more personal than before. Because this isn't just about justice anymore. It's about unfinished business. One marshal decides to look deeper into the past files. As they compare the old reports with the new evidence, more connections begin to appear. Locations match. Certain names appear again. And slowly, the team starts to realize that the suspect they are chasing might be part of something that started years ago. The case they thought was over may have never truly ended. And now the marshals understand the real danger. Whoever is behind this knows their history. They know how the marshals work. And they may have been waiting for the perfect moment to return. At that moment, the investigation stops being just another assignment. Now it has become personal,